Good morning, Internet. This morning I thought I'd like to take you on a little trip, an actual trip, clumsy as usual, along this bit of the garden path here at Bunny Hall. If you follow me along through here, you'll see that from the upper lawn up here, you can see this is a path that is between the upper lawn and the lower beach. So follow me along and let's see, where am I heading to? A pretty ugly derelict building with, of course, my nemesis Bittersweet. But let's go in and start today's video with a secret location. Well, the secret location is the lower part of our boathouse, so let's do a proper tour, shall we? Okay, so let's head on down to the boathouse and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Now, if we come down off the terrace onto the stairs that we often use, or that we do use, to go down to the beach. But rather than going down here, we take a right. This path, which if I can find the footage, this was completely overgrown about 3 weeks ago. And then we came in and started hacking back. We usually try to do it in spring, but we just got behind with things. But anyway, this is a path that we love to have open because it was put in purposely a long time ago, because behind these brambles of things and below this bramble of things are two beautiful big stone walls made with giant rocks that cost a pretty penny in the day it was done, but probably would have been better to have it in the bank, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go along. So we've just come down the little steps from Bunny Hall, and rather than going down to the beach, we turn to the right, and this bit of lawn, which is lower than that bit of lawn up top, winds along here. Now I'm hoping to come through and clear more, just to make it more like a hedgerow, and to possibly have, see if you stop and turn to the left. It's a lovely walk, and right now the breeze is lovely, although I'm sure the breeze is affecting the audio, but we will just have to deal. But see, if you walk this way, you can see the beach, and there's a sailboat. So you come through here. Now this used to be an old stairway back when we used to use the Boathouse apartment as our place to stay, when the main house was still had Bunny in it. We had this little stairway I built years ago, and it's seen better days, but someday I'll probably pick that up. So if we come through this bunch of trees, which also needs to be dealt with, this is the base of the boathouse, which looks horrible now, but there used to be this used to be a big door that slid across this, and this used to not exist. It used to be just two opening spaces, and then you'll see there's a railroad track, and here's a giant metal train cart, and that leads down, I'm not sure if you can see, down into the sea, our railroad tracks. And when the family had enough funds to keep 2 sailboats, they used to come up those tracks, and in this building, the lower part of the boathouse, is the giant engine that would chug along and pull this train track up through, which was of course cleared out, the train tracks into the boathouse, which would be open. Now, a few years back, when as we became the caretakers of Bunny Hall, we had to seal this end up. Now, we have plans someday, but we haven't the budget to make this into a lovely new part of our house, but that's a long story. What I'm thinking now is, look, you can see already, this is just in the past, I'd say past 3 weeks, but so these, again, Bittersweet, my nemesis, Bittersweet. Let's go in. Now, this may be a project that's probably going to happen more this autumn, because as you'll see, if the camera can adjust, this is a big, vast space with very tall ceilings, because it used to hold 2 giant sailboats. And if you look out here in this horrible old window, this dilapidated building sits in a beautiful spot in the sea. So you could see it has so much potential. But looking around, you can see there's the leftover tubing from our latest project where we had to have the water redone. These long bits here are actually part of an old greenhouse that we'd love to install one day. It was ordered sometime in the 70s, and here it sat. It's actually cedar, and in that crate back there, which you probably can't really see, are panes of really thick glass for the greenhouse, but who knows. But so you can see it's just a rustic old building that's breeze block and old windows, but I'm not sure if you can hear the wind rustling through. On a windy day such as today, it really comes through. Now, however, when you open the slider full on, you get a lovely breeze. But look at how great that view is. I mean, even just being able to clear up the trees, which I'd meant to do, but this has basically been the bottom of the list. So, if you look up here, you can see amongst all the rubble and part of the giant engine that used to pull the boats in, there's a stairway that leads up here, and then that leads to outside the lower level of the ground. And then there's even another stairway that goes up there to a sail loft up top. So beyond there is a bit of where the apartment is that I'll share at some point. But I just wanted to show that this space, which is really rustic and full of junk, could have the potential to be a really good space to work, do some painting down here, bring in my tools to build my quail houses, my chicken houses, the things we need to do to fix up the house. So I just wanted to share this today. And yeah, I'm not sure when we will get to it, but we will get to it at some point. But look, we have another path down to the beach here, which is starting to become a bit overgrown. So the views are lovely, and it's a great place to work, and you get the sea breezes. So I'm considering part of the project for this, the blog, is maybe to start using this to be a creative space. So we'll see. So I thought I would close today with showing you the progress of my quail wallpaper. If you remember, last time I shared the rough pencil sketch of a couple quail here, and then I went in and added layers of color just to kind of make it more stylized, playing with color and form. So that's one layer of what will become the wallpaper. So next I open a new document in Painter, and here I do capture image, which if you watch how my pencil goes outside the paper line, you'll see that as I'm drawing, you'll see I'll go through the edge, and as I go off the paper, you'll see it come out the other side of the paper on the bottom. Now if I go from here off the paper and start coming around, now watch how the other line comes out and up from the bottom. And this is how you make a repeat. So after I've done that, I continue doing this. Now this is, again, just the rough sketch of what the wallpaper will be, but now I'm starting to play with the background designs, and this is going to be vine themed. I'm using honeysuckle, flowers, and then just some various vines and things. So now at the stage, which is still a sketch stage, I pull over the quail that I shared with you previously, and on a different layer I can kind of play with placement. So in this case I place them just in these two corners. I like that. And then I'll go in and sample colors from the colorways of the quail I've already designed, and then I'll go in and fill in the sketch here and there. This is really just to get the idea of what the colors will be. When I finish this wallpaper, it is going to be a blue and white. However, once I finish a wallpaper, I'm able to change the colorways. So this will be monochromatic wallpaper, but I may offer it in other colors, in pinks and reds and greens. But again, at this stage, I'm just toying with placement of the birds, the animals. And then there'll probably be 2 or 3 more goes. I will go back in and tighten up the layer where I have the sketch of the vines and the flowers and make that more tight and decide where I want colors. I may even add more quail, I'm not sure. So I just really wanted to share this with you to show the various stages I go through to make a wallpaper in a fabric. And of course I will share this when it's finished with a link to where they would be available for sale. I'm just starting to get back into offering wallpapers and fabrics again, so I think a lot of the vlog may also be about getting back into that sort of industry and how that's going to work out for me. Well, I think that's going to do it for us today here at An Artist's Life. I hope you enjoyed watching me do the next layer of wallpaper. Hope you enjoyed our fun walk down the garden path to the lower part of the boathouse. I really do hope to do more with the boathouse later on as it gets cooler, so that will be more fun things to share on the vlog. But that is going to do it for me today. I will see you tomorrow, and thanks for joining me. Cheers!